So now it's May the 1st, 2021, and I still haven't really got started building, but the fellow's supposed to come today and dig. So I thought I was going to start April 1st, but I'm a month behind now. Most of that delay is getting permits, so some of it's my fault. I didn't get my underground locates in time, so that was a bit of a delay. So one thing I wanted to establish was how far down we should dig. I didn't get a grading survey because they didn't require one here, so I saved a few $1,000s there. Helps to offset the cost of $80 a sheet plywood. So how did I do that? Well, I don't have a survey level either, or a transit level I should say. So what I did is I just got my 5-gallon pail here, and I made it perfectly level with this 4-foot level on it, and I just eyeballed that toward the street, and this is right about the bottom of the level is just about perfectly lines up with the top of the road, the crest of the road there. And so I want to be above the road. My front of the house is about a little over 50 feet from the road, so I figure if the top of my foundation is about 3 feet above that, that will give me a nice grade towards the road. Especially for the garage floor, I want that to be well above the street so that any water will flow away from my house. So once I establish that this is level with the street, I made a number of marks on some stakes and trees around here. See a stake like this, I put 72. So I want to go about that mark there represents the top of the street, so I want to go about 72 inches or 6 feet below that point. That'll be to the bottom of my footing. And I've got similar marks I leveled around. Show my levels to different points so that in case that stake gets moved, I can refer to this tree. That's that level point. That's the top of the road, 72 inches down from there. So as we're digging, I can put my laser level on that point and measure down, make sure we don't go down too far or not far enough. So now we're just waiting for Braden to show up and run this machine. So Braden got here in good time, and he's basically picking out a bunch of tree roots. He's picking out some pretty big roots just like that. So that's pretty exciting. He said he wants to clean that pile up and then he's going to start digging. So this is pretty exciting. So Braden's been busy scraping topsoil off the property there where the excavation's going to be. Pretty sandy underneath, but there's a bit of bad news. We're talking about delays, and yeah, his track broke. Sheared off a pin. That's a 7/8 pin, so he's gone off to look for another one. Apparently he knows somebody who has some of these things, so yeah, kind of disappointing. More delays, getting used to it. So now it's May the 2nd. May the 1st yesterday was Saturday. That's when the machine broke. The pin came out of the track, so he worked like the devil yesterday, I guess for about 5 hours, and you can see where he had to blow the old pin out and then put a new one in. So I'm just warming up the machine, and I don't really like working Sundays much, but I'll take what I can get right now. So yeah, we're going to dig this foundation today. Okay, so today is Tuesday, May the 4th. It's Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. So that's our humor of the day. So we're down the hole, and he's pretty much got most of it dug out. So we've been doing some levels on this floor area. Got Junior down here helping me smoothing things out. What we have is our trusty 5-gallon pail. I made it so that it sits perfectly level, and Junior just eyes along the top of that level, and I'll have my tape measure at a different point, and we just get the same measurements down at all the corners and here and there along where the footing is going to be. that's how we're doing our levels. It's just more or less levels. Once I put the forms in, I get a little more serious about that. Has to be dead on. This is just more or less dig this soil out of here. You can see where I trenched out a bit just to bring that down to where it should be, so that when he comes back here with his bucket, he'll have something to go by. It's basically the back wall of the, or the front wall, I should say, of the north part of the house. And up here is a garage area. It's just going to get trenched because we're going to be backfilling that. And there's Braden up. He's just moving that dirt pile out of the way so that he can get his machine in here and dig the rest of the basement out. So it's pretty good. Things are coming along. He says he might finish today, or if not, early tomorrow morning. Yeah, so next, after this, we'll be doing some farming. So a fellow down the street showed up and wanted to know if he could have some of my backfill, which yes, you're gonna have lots of it, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff. A mountain of it back there. So yeah, he's been here a number of times with his dump trailer, and Braden's loading him up as he goes along. So that's pretty cool. So Braden's pretty much done this part of the basement, and the gentleman to come along to take some of the sand away he came with his boy, and so of course they have to you know, zoom in a bit. He's got his son in the cab just to give him a little treat there, how to run an excavator. So I guess this is how we do things up in northern Ontario. I get the kids right in the machine, get them used to working. That's pretty awesome. And turns out we have a nice bright sunny day. Yeah, this fellow here, he works in the mines. He doesn't work for the mine guy, he builds the mines. So that's pretty awesome. Digging mine shafts and all these kind of ventilation shafts and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty cool. Today's May the 6th, it's Thursday, 11 o'clock in the morning, and the excavation's all done. Braden's been working hard. He's got the trenching done for the garage and so on. So that's great. A lot of dirt in the way. We'll deal with that later, but we're working on it. So Junior's been busy cutting some stakes so that we can attach, we can get our forms in. So right now we're establishing perfect level to put my footing. So let's show you how we do that. So I'm doing this old school. So here we see a transparent, this is actually vinyl tubing, 1/2 inch vinyl tubing. I should have gone with 3/8, but I don't know, I got 1/2. You have to order everything and pick it up so you don't get to, you know, touch it and feel it. So what I've done is I've filled this water line up with this hose line with water. So it's completely filled. It took me a while to get all the air pockets out of it, all the bubbles, they're all out of it. It's just straight water. So this vinyl tubing runs from this stake, which is right near the corner of the house, the front corner, and it runs over to that stake. And so what I've got here is, I don't know if you can see it, right on that, yeah, let me get my pencil and point it out to you. Right on this here tubing, I can see my level here. So this here is a level of the water. I could add more water if I wanted to. Bring it up, doesn't matter. And then what I have at the other end is the exact, is when I check the level of the water in this hole, this end of the hose, it's going to be exactly level. So I have to find out where that is. Looks like it's right up here at the top. It's right at the top, like right there. It's right there. The water's right at the top of the hose here. So this level, this mark I'm putting on my stake is exactly level to the mark I put on the other stake. So now I can measure down from these points, put my forms in, and go from there. Let's do that. So I'm not supposed to have to show off that. But anyway, I got the generator going. There's Junior, he's running the saw shop. He's cutting stakes, cutting them down for me. So anyway, we're coming along pretty well on the forming footings here, getting everything dead level with my water level. So maybe I'll just jump down and do a bit more and show you a detail or two on that. I'm working on this one corner, so this is all leveled, and I'll just show you how this works. I got you can see I got my water tube, my vinyl tube full of water, and it's taped up to that stake down there and to this one, and you can see exactly where the water line is right there. So I'll just go like that. Then I'll do the same mark on the other side. Then I'll measure down from there to the top of this form, which is level, and then I'll know how far down to mark from that other mark that I'm going to put on that other stake down there. Let's go put that mark on that other stake over there. So where's our water level here? I back up a bit, and there it is right there. So I go like this, that's just about perfect. So that's exactly level with the black mark that I made down at the other end. So now, go back here. So you can see that's my level mark of the water. And I marked 4.5 inches down. So I'll bring my forms along here to that very point. So I'm going to put a string on there from this side to the other side, a mason's line. So I'll be able to follow my 2x6 forming along that level point. So that's how I'm doing this. It's kind of rudimentary, but it works, and that's what matters. It's May the 9th. It's an absolutely gorgeous sunny Sunday afternoon, one of the better days we've had. Here we are working in the basement, but we have the foundation inspection tomorrow morning at 9:30, so a few things we got to wrap up, because we don't want them to come and say it's not going to pass, because we have our concrete pour on Tuesday morning. So the footings are all in, level. This here's the front of the house, so this is going to be, this is the inside wall of the house, and this is going to be a cold room here. So that's the outside wall, and there's going to be a concrete porch on top of that porch floor. And you can see how we're getting the rebar placed in here. When I come up to a corner, I bend it, and the inspector said he wants 2 rebars in the footing, so that's what we're doing. Also, we've got, I'll show you these, because I'm going to be doing this foundation of block work. So I've got these 4-foot pieces. I bent a hook into the end of each one, and wherever we see RB, that means rebar. So right exactly on that spot, we're going to stick this rebar in the center of the footing in the concrete, and then when I'm coming along with my block work, it should fit right in the hole. I figured out the measurement. I probably got it all wrong, but hopefully I got it right. And so there's about 55 of those. So everything's pretty much ready. We're just putting the last few bits of rebar in. There's Junior making sure that that's perfect over there. Those square pads that are the posts, they're going to be for the posts that hold up a beam. They have to be 12 inches deep. It's kind of deep. So we'll keep working on this and see what happens tomorrow for our inspection. Another little detail here is you'll see this piece of drainage tile I got stuck in between the 2 forms here in the footing. So that's because right here, this is the front of the house, right here I'm going to have my sump pump. That's they require that up here in Ontario building code. So when I pull the form, I'm going to pour right over top of that with the concrete. When I pull the forms off, then that that pipe will be there, so I can hook my outside drainage pipe into that, and then that can go into my sump. And so I did that in 2 other places. I'll just show you. There's another one right here. That's because this here part is a garage. It's going to be buried on both sides. And then right here is where this is going to be only buried on that side. So my drainage tile is going to come along here. I can hook it into this big O once I strip the forms off, and then come around like that, and then over here on the other end of this, this here is a garage area, so of course it doesn't get excavated. I put another piece of drainage pipe so I can hook my big O right into here once the form's stripped off, and then hook the other piece onto that, and then carry on. It goes all the way around the footing so that the surface water or groundwater can be collected in that drainage pipe end up in my sump pump, which is kind of bizarre. Good idea, isn't it, to bring outside water into your basement? But anyway, that's what they want me to do. It'll go into my sump pump and get pumped out if water does indeed come into the house. Yeah, we're all excited. It's Tuesday morning. We're doing our pour, so I'll switch this thing around. There's all of our crew, just wheelbarrows lined up, ready to go. And yeah, you guys are working like crazy people, which is good. Filming? Okay, she's filming. So I'm taking these rebars, and I already marked them out on the forms, and stick it in like that. There, and then, you know, just smoosh that around a bit. So that should be in the center of the core of a block, and it probably won't be, but that's what I hope it will be. And I'm just doing that around. Okay, that's good.